We're going to be talking about this album today and the way I actually arranged the beats for it. It's just an interesting thing to talk about, I suppose, because a lot of us struggle with beat arrangement and how to actually put a loop into an entire song. Even though I might be a bit skeptical about showing this because it's just so unprofessional how I do it, but I don't really care, to be honest. At the end of the day, it's how I do it, and I don't really care too much. Around 90% of the arrangements done in this album were done the way that I'm going to show you right now. I'll talk a little bit more about thoughts behind this process after I do this. What I'm doing, I'm just recording the stereo outs of my MPC into Logic, and I'm going to jam with my MPC and just play out my music that I have. So at this point, I already have everything done that I want on the MPC. I have all my sequences, I have all my samples done. Everything is to a point where I'm happy with the samples I have. I'm happy with the loop that I have, but I'm trying to find a way to arrange my song, which is like just an improv session. I'm just going to be jamming with the MPC, using the track mutes, using the next sequence to jump between sequences, just so I can get ideas out. I'm just going to start recording ideas into Logic. So let's go. So, okay, actually I went to a sequence that just doesn't really feel good. So I'll search for that sequence that I think might fit next. All right, this one fits, so I'll just jump to that. And I don't mind doing this during the recording because then I'll chop everything up and put it in place. So let's just continue. Okay, so I'll just leave it at that. What I did here was this is just an example of what I do. Normally I take like 10 minutes of this, just recording, just freely just jamming with what I have on the MPC. Now that I have my recording, imagine this is like 10 minutes of me just recording. I go through the recordings, I just pick out the best bits that I like or the sections that I like, and I just glue them together. So I'll just create a new track. And I'll say, okay, up to here, everything's cool. I like this intro, so I'm just going to keep the intro. If I don't like that intro, then I might actually record again another intro for that. Or I could take this as ideas and create a song mode and create the whole idea that I did here in the song mode. So just creating sequences with the exact same pattern that I did during the live recording. And I'll just build my song mode like that with examples from the performance. So that's another way of doing it. So let's go here to my Logic sessions. And this is the new beat tape that I've been doing. Most of these songs from my new beat tape are all done inside of the song mode of the MPC, but some others aren't. This is a good example. Let me open up this project. This is a good example of what I was talking about. You see all this at the top right there. That's the jam that I did. So just playing around with the track mutes and sequences and then chopping everything up into a song. Down here is the same exact thing at the top, but that I created in the MPC. So I took this idea, this whole idea, and I'm going to solo these two right there so you can listen to it.
The way I feel this morning, the way I feel, the way I feel this morning, the way I feel.
So, I'm taking all these bits and rearranging everything to create something that just sounds right, sounds good. And then right here is the final product, is the result of these two tracks right here. That's the result. So I created this arrangement in the MPC, creating new sequences with the things that I did during the jam that I was doing. And then that's the final product. If I delete all this and just bring this all the way, you see that the recording is much longer. So I took all those bits from the middle of the song and created that, which ended up being this. So this beat was actually created in the MPC 60, and that's the full recording. And then that's all the bits that I decided to use. And then that's it. So that's me just jamming with the MPC and then taking the bits, and that's the final product actually. It's you can hear like in between.
I wished upon us.
So that's it, and that's how I did that song, just jamming with the MPC and then taking the best bits, putting them together, done. This right here is a project from my album Come Home, and if you notice, like it's chopped up all the way. I'm going to delete this, just take this and just look at that. So that's the actual recording, and then ended up being this. Here's another one. You can use a bit of, if you notice that I use it quite a lot, which is just some fade-ins and fade-outs where I cut so you don't hear any clicks or pops. But, as long as the recording sounds good, because normally I record it via my external gear, and then I already have the sound of the, kind of like there's some mastering here on the side that I do in Logic as well. And that's it. So, but normally I have the sound of the beat already built, like mixed to a certain degree where I feel comfortable with it, and then that's it. When I'm making the beat, I already have everything mixed. I already have the levels of the snares, the kicks where I want them to be. So it's just a matter really of recording the stereo out and get it done with. Now that you know how I put my beats together, it might inspire you to do it your way, right? Because this what I'm doing right here is just a way that I'm comfortable with when making music. I wanted to show you that, not necessarily because I think it's a great way of doing it or anything, but I know a lot of us struggle with beat making and arranging beats. I'm just going into kind of like a minimal way of making beats where it's not because I'm lazy, but because it's how I feel good. It's how beat making feels right to me. It feels like it's part of me in this process. That to me was the struggle, was to destroy these templates and these, factory presets of how a beat should be treated, how you have to do it. I feel much better now doing it this way, you know, instead of like just following an industry formula to create a song or something like that. I'm not saying you should do it. I'm just saying I feel good about doing it this way. And I know it's not the best way as well. I know my beats need a lot more work, but I don't, you know, it's just like, what, I'm not stressing with that anymore. I'm chilled the way I do it. Unless I have an idea already of how the music should be constructed, then I'll do it. Like I don't even do it this way. You know, I'll just go into the song mode and build the song as I go because I have an idea already. But sometimes I don't have that idea. Sometimes I just have a loop and I don't know what to do with it. And then that's when this comes in. It comes in that I just, okay, whatever, I'm just going to record the stereo out. I'm just going to play it. I'm going to jam. And whatever comes out, that will be the beat. Will it sound like $1 million record? No, it won't. But, you know, I'm cool with that. No, the truth is that we fail to see what works for us and what makes us feel good as musicians. And instead of that, we choose to work in a way that other people work just because it is the industry way, which doesn't really make sense because people that listen to your music don't care about that. And that's the truth. Hopefully the video will inspire you to make some beats and just care less about the professionalism and how people are going to think that you did it or whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is the end product. Always the end product. And you know, don't forget this 25th of April, I'll have another beat tape out. So go ahead and listen to it. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Take care.